We're back, Mr. Green. Can you hear us?
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
look, you got a lot going on. Like I said, you got a lot going on. You're absconded. You have these charges that need to be resolved and taken care of. Um, you really got a lot going on. Um, but I believe you. I believe you're telling me the truth. A lot of
Yes,
people
sir.
don't tell me the truth, but I believe you're telling me the truth. Um, but there's nothing I can do with you here in Louisiana. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do in lieu of revocation, you need to get an interstate compact. You need to get it all complete and done to go home to Texas. I'm not going to let you out, and then you got to get it so you're going to stay incarcerated until you get all your interstate compact completed, taken care of, and then go home to Texas.
Yes,
And
sir.
then you'll be on supervision. You'll continue supervision. So however long that takes, that's how long you'll be there before you can get
Yes,
back home. So don't be hanging out in Louisiana. Go straight back to Texas and get. You need to get those charges resolved too. I mean that's because you'll go right back in jail if you're guilty of those.
right.
But that's my vote for today, Mr. Roche.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. So my vote is in lieu of revocation, you have to get an approved interstate compact to the state of Texas. And once that compact is approved, you must leave that particular facility and go straight to the state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Freeman.
Okay, I concur with them, Mr. Green. We need to get in touch with your probation officer so they can come get that paperwork started to get you to Texas. They may be able to start it right there in the parish prison, but if not, probation and parole will do it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
y'all so much.
Jeff, three votes in lieu of revocation. You got to get that taken care of before you can go.
I
You
got you.
understand?
Thank y'all so much. God
Good
bless
luck.
y'all.
Look, you need to take care of your son. You need to do right. Now you got opportunity. When we see you back, you're gonna be in for a long time.
Right. I'm a prove you guys right. I'm gonna do it right this time. I
All
promise.
right, good luck. Good luck to you.
Thank y'all.
Three votes in lieu of revocation. And we adjourn here. We got one more of these back. We'll adjourn at 9 a.m. Thursday, July 20th. Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so what we just saw was the end of a hearing. Maybe you remember it. It was titled "A Hot Mic Reveals a Conversation Between an Inmate and a Guard" as revocation hearing, and that took place July of 24th. Today's September 27th, so a few months ago, and we're back here.
We are back in session, and Mr. Green, would you step forward, please?
And on September 27th, and as you can see, they're doing something
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
we've never seen before, which is taking parole hearing from the University of Southeastern Louisiana. Interesting, right? They have amazing microphones, which is a nice thing to see. But here we are at a revocation hearing. Is it because he's already absconded, or is there another reason for it? But let's find out.
Good morning. My name is Irvin Green, DOC number 727181.
So, Mr. Green, you've been through the revocation process before, haven't you?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know how this is going to work.
Right.
So I'm going to just read the allegation against you, and I'm going to ask you to enter a plea. But first, do you have your parole revocation questionnaire?
No, ma'am.
I don't know if y'all have access to it. Let me just ask you some questions. There it is. Is that your signature at the bottom of that page dated June the 1st, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that. And based on the information you provided there, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So let me just lay some groundwork before we get started, before I read the allegation against you. You were released on good time September 4th of 2021. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And let's see, in July of 2020, you had a revocation hearing. And the outcome of that revocation hearing was that in lieu of revocation, you were to be allowed to transfer to the state of Texas only. Is that true? Is that correct? Is that your recollection?
Yes, ma'am.
However, and let me get back to the original charges. Your original charges on your initial revocation was about failing to submit monthly reports. You moved without informing your parole officer. You were arrested in Houston subsequently. And then in December of 22, you were not truthful with your parole officer. You were in Texas, but you told him you were living at Old Hammond Highway and you're behind on your payments. But you were given a break and you were, you get to the first page. Here we go. You were to go to Texas.
Right.
However, you have pending charges in Texas for domestic abuse battery.
Correct.
Your plan to go to Texas was to go live with that victim.
No. No, ma'am. My plan in Texas was to go live with my father.
The indication we have is that you were planning to live with the victim. So let me just read the allegations against you at this time. You are accused of violating conditions of your parole, condition number 13, which states at your revocation hearing on July 20th, 2023, parole board ordered in lieu of revocation, the interstate compact to Texas. However, probation and parole can't comply with that transfer to Texas as the offender has pending charges for domestic abuse, strangulation in Texas. How do you plead to violating condition number 13?
Guilty.
Guilty. Have you resolved those issues in Texas? with pending charges?
I just went to court, I want to say last week, to sign an extradition waiver to go back to Texas for those charges. But in court, I was told that Texas told them that they didn't want me.
So is there anything else you'd like to say to us about your guilty plea?
That was about leaving, not being truthful with my parole officer, right?
No, it's about violating the special condition approval of the interstate compact.
Oh yeah, I have no knowledge of that. Like I promise you, I was going to live with my dad. The victim, I have no contact with them. I haven't talked to those people in months. I literally was going to live with my dad.
I don't see any other questions by my colleagues. Mr. Green, is there anything else you'd like to say to us?
I have like I don't have to go to Texas. I wanted to go to Texas because the mother of my child, my mom, my dad, my brothers and sisters, and my son is in Texas. But I also have family in New Orleans that I can go stay with. So I don't have to, sit in jail to wait for Texas. Like I don't have to go to Texas. I can go to New Orleans too.
How long you been in jail waiting for this hearing?
Waiting for this hearing?
Mhm.
Maybe about 60 days. It's been about 60 days since the last hearing. I've been waiting on the interstate compact.
Mr. Freeman has a question.
Okay, who would you stay with in New Orleans?
My Aunt Deborah.
Were you a member of a gang in New Orleans? I see 504 on your neck.
No, that was a silly mistake as a teenager. But no, sir, I'm not a part of any gang.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Mr. Green, I don't have any evidence that you have a good transition plan. I'm not ready to just let you go to New Orleans. I think we're ready to vote. I'll be voting first. My vote today is to revoke your parole. You have time to work out a good transition plan and reapply for a parole hearing. And they'll instruct you on when you're eligible to do so. I think based on your original charges, that could be as soon as 6 months, but you got some work to do before then. Mr. Freeman?
I agree with Ms. Renata, but I'm looking at your good time date and you may not come back in front of us. Because, looks like it's passed. But anyway, we need to get a better and more suitable residence.
Mr. Roche?
Madam Chairman, my vote is the same for the same reason.
All right, Mr. Green, today the board has voted to revoke your parole. Good luck to you, sir. Wish you well.
Before y'all leave, I can ask one question.
What's that?
I just don't understand why I can't go stay with my auntie.
Because we have revoked you, sir. Your parole has been revoked. That's why.
due to me
Violating condition number 13.
which
That
was
concludes our business in East Baton Rouge. We're going to sign off. It's 10:13
Well, there you have it. It's quite interesting to me. Okay, so what happened was he never got out of jail. The last hearing, it let off that, hey, if you can clear up everything with Texas and get your charge under, and then we can give you we can release you to Texas. But Texas basically said, we don't want you. And I believe we see a lot of Louisiana is very happy if an inmate can get approval to go to Texas. They are very eager to send them to Texas. And I can imagine, take a gander, that Texas probably isn't thrilled about that arrangement. And in this case, they just said, we don't even want to try you. We don't want to extradite you for what the crime that you've committed. And that's because that's the reason he's not able to get there, even though they initially did grant him on those conditions. So his good time date has passed already. So it's not clear to me why he hasn't been released yet. They haven't gone through infractions or anything, and it's not clear when his good time date is either. I don't recall them mentioning it. But I did go back and listen to the hearing, and I'll put a link to it if you want to hear the first hearing, if you missed it. And he did say he was going to live with his father, and I believe it was Austin, Texas. But his girlfriend and his child and his other relatives lived in a different part of Texas, but he didn't say he was going to go there. So I don't believe that I do believe he was still being honest. He just simply couldn't get Texas to accept him, and that's why they revoked him. The 504 gang, I did a Google on it. Maybe someone watching this knows much more about it, but it seems that what it is that it's actually the area code of Louisiana. And sorry, did I just say the 504? Is it the 504? But it's just the area code that the gangs call themselves by. They're not Bloods, they're not Crips, they're 504 because that's their area code. But that's just a Google search. I don't really know. Anyways, I always like to share continuation hearings. So there is a playlist for it if these are interesting to you. So if someone comes back for any reason, I'll either sometimes connect the full hearing or just do pieces of it like I did in this case. So you can check out that playlist also. I'll pop up the link here. But with that,